Welcome to another episode of Chappy Hour. I am your host, Chloë Chapdelaine, and today we have on the Jared Daniel.
Why the?
I don't know, because you're basically famous in Calgary.
Oh my word.
Jared is a really talented musician. He just had a very awesome concert on Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that?
It was magical.
Yeah?
I felt like I bit off way more than I could chew because I call it the Jared Daniel experience.
That's why I called you the Jared Daniel.
Oh, okay. And I'm like, am I vain out of my tree by calling it the Jared Daniel experience? But it truly is an experience. And this time it really lived up to the hype, I feel like.
Yeah. Do you want to talk a little bit about like what type of music you do? Because lots of people here, they might have never heard of you before. Who are you?
I am Jared. I make R&B music. Really inspired by Usher, types of Brian McKnight, Boyz II Men, these types of people growing up. The soundtrack for the movie Space Jam, this type of stuff.
Pretty cool.
I wasn't a hockey guy.
No, he was a band kid. Were you in band?
No, I didn't do well in band either. I was a basketball player.
Oh.
And so I think that was just such a gateway drug for R&B music.
Yeah.
I could go into depth there, but we won't on this episode. But yeah, that's me. I make music here in Calgary. And the experience itself, we incorporated dancers. We incorporated a fashion show. We had all of these amazing sponsors and people came out. We had this incredible like balloon sponsor that made this big, like it looked like a cause exhibit. It was intense.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, but it was memorable and life-changing.
And more to come?
More to come. I'm definitely still in my breather phase right now because it was like Cirque du Soleil that we pulled off, but it was definitely worth it. But yes, more to come. Album coming soon.
Album coming soon.
It's true.
Do you have a date yet?
Yes, 24th of April.
All right, everybody go pre-save.
Exactly.
Can you do that already?
Not yet. It's almost more important to me that you actually just listen to it once I put it out.
Okay, that's good to know. That's valuable for us listeners.
A little bit of a trend.
Yeah.
The whole pre-save thing. It's false. No, I'm kidding.
Is it false though?
I mean, it's a bit hyped up. Like it doesn't do as much as like if you threw a party and we drop the song and everyone in the room just kind of like listens to it right as it drops.
Yeah.
That's almost a better like multiplier effect to like the algorithm and the editorial playlists and everything like that.
I did not know that. I've been trying to figure out Spotify myself because obviously I have a podcast now.
Obvious.
I'm not launching music or anything like that, but I was told the best way that you can boost the podcast is to give it a 5-star rating.
Ooh.
So if you guys are listening right now and you're enjoying what you're listening to,
bing, 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 bing.
You can go and give a 5-star rating or just follow the show so that you're getting updates when new episodes are coming out. But we're here today and we're going to start diving right in. But first, we're going to talk about the drink that we are drinking. Jared didn't send me a drink in advance, even though I asked him to.
I was curious.
And so I'm introducing him to his very first Vizzy today.
Vizzy!
I am a Vizzy fan. I have been a Vizzy fan for a long time. A few years now. It's my go-to. And so we're going to get started and cheers!
Welcome to Chappy Hour. It's kind of like happy hour, but with me, Chloë Chapdelaine, where I catch up with a friend over drinks. It doesn't need to be 5 o'clock to join, so grab your favorite drink, sit back, relax, and let's get started. Cheers.
Oh, and I didn't mention the flavor that we are drinking is pineapple mango.
Okay, are you in that camp where you gotta drink it after you cheers?
Technically,
did we get some
be doing
bad
that.
luck there?
Did I just not? Okay.
You just cheers me?
I'm really bad for that.
Restored.
Just forgetting. Okay. I feel like we need to redo the cheers. Let's redo it.
Okay, let's do it again.
Cheers. But we are going to dive right into the I'll Take a Double section, which is where we talk about our life hacks because we like to start off strong on this podcast and we each have a life hack here to tell you. Mm-hmm. And they're quite different. Mine has to do with stains. Have you ever cooked with turmeric?
Yeah, but it stained my clothes when I did it.
Your clothes?
It stained me.
How did you get it on your clothes?
I don't know how.
Well, turmeric is a natural dye, but it's also used in a lot of cooking. And I've been using turmeric lately because I've been putting it in juices and like little juice shots I've been making.
Interesting.
And if I make something in my blender that has turmeric in it, it turns my blender yellow. And it takes like a week to get the yellow out. But I learned that if you put your blender or your stained turmeric item in the sun, because it's going to turn into like a really bright yellow color from the turmeric powder.
Okay.
If you put it in the sun will naturally somehow get rid of that stain. You just have to put it in direct sunlight for like a day or so.
And it gets rid of it.
Yeah, apparently it just like dissolves the stain.
That's amazing.
Yeah. What about you? Tell me your life hack.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit different. I'm a father of a beautiful little girl. And I would say the life hack is just Oh, and a little bit of backstory. Got together with a friend I hadn't seen in a long time. I was in a place. We had dinner, we had wine, we connected, and we had a child. And just decided to co-parent, and definitely one of my best friends today. And we're just raising this little girl. And I feel quite happy in like the area of like relationships, even though I'm very single and not focusing on that too much. But I have this like little girl who's just obsessed with me, and I'm obsessed with her.
Aww.
And, you know, great relationship with my co-parent. I'm like, I feel thankful and blessed. And I feel like it's a bit of a life hack. Like, guys, reproduce. Make little ones. It'll make you so happy.
Jared's little girl is the cutest thing ever.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, that's a great life hack. I have baby
I know people
fever
maybe
right
aren't
now.
having kids, but like the hack would be like, have a kid.
Have a kid. I want to have a kid or two.
Let's go.
I know. I'm getting married soon, so I want to wait at least a year.
Hey, Mish.
But it's going to happen at some point.
Mhm.
I just have to wait, you know.
Yeah, timing is also probably a hack.
Yeah, it probably is.
Good timing is probably a hack.
I
as
know.
well, but
Probably getting pregnant right now would not be the move for me.
not the move.
No, but if I wait, I feel like everything could work out.
True.
Definitely. But we're going to move into the daily special section of this podcast. And this is where we talk about what is trending, what we're seeing, how we're feeling about it, our thoughts. And there are a lot of trending things happening right now. And Jared has some unique trending perspectives because he's in a little bit of a different world than I am. And we both have very different things going on. And one thing that I am really big into right now is reality TV. I am a sucker for reality TV. I will binge it as much as I can until it tells me that I need to wait for the next episode, and then I hate my life because I hate when they drop episodes week by week.
Right.
I don't know if you relate to that struggle because you don't watch a lot of reality TV, hey?
I don't.
So have you heard of the new Love is Blind season that's come out?
I've heard of the show. I haven't heard of the new season.
Okay,
Should I watch it?
You should watch it.
Okay.
I'm watching it right now and it's quite dramatic. I mean, they all are. But for those of you who don't know, Love is Blind is a TV show on Netflix where you can watch these couples as they get together and they're dating for marriage. But the catch is that when they are meeting each other and having their first initial conversations, they're going on speed dates, but they cannot see each other. So they're basically in these separated pods where they're talking through a wall. I don't really know the logistics of how that works, but the goal is that they need to fall in love and propose to the other person with the intention of marriage without ever seeing that person. And it's only once you propose that then that couple can meet in person. And then from the time that you meet in person, there's a very short span until your wedding. And basically the whole premise of the show is, can the couple make it once they fall in love and get engaged? Is love blind?
Wow.
Would you ever go on a show like that?
I would, just because I'm a musician, I'm an artist, so it's like it'd be great.
You do it for personal clout?
For personal clout, 100%.
Okay.
And sometimes you find love when you're going into something doing it for the different reason anyways. You know what I mean? Like if love is love, then you'll find it in the most unsuspected places. And I would say a reality TV show would be like the actual stats of people that like make it are so low from reality TV shows. So like I would say your chances of meeting your wife in like the grocery store is higher than on Love is Blind. But I wouldn't rule it out.
So you would go on a show like that despite your personal motivations maybe not being for love?
100%. Yeah, I would do it all for like the clout, the exposure, all of that.
Do you think that they vet you for that though when you're applying for the shows?
Don't show them this interview or this podcast.
You're hoping they're not going to be listening.
Hopefully not. But I'm just being honest. This is a room of honesty.
Well, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about reality TV shows because I heard a little rumor that maybe you have something coming up.
I'm going to be on a reality TV show.
Did you hear that? Jared is going to be on a reality TV show. Tell us about this. This is so exciting.
Yeah. So there is like an NDA. I don't even know if I'm supposed to be talking about it actually now that I think about it.
Can you just not mention the name of the show?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
That's perfect. So I'm going to be on this reality TV show, and essentially I'm meant to just be a creative and engage in creating music. And it's almost like a Big Brother concept. I'm living on this resort with these people.
Really?
And we're just meant to, I guess, display what we do with art, which is kind of cool.
Is everybody a musician?
No, I think all different forms of art.
Oh, okay.
Performative art. And so it'll be a really interesting group of people. But yeah, you win like $100,000 if you win.
$100,000?
Yeah. So
to use for whatever you want?
Yes.
And you don't even have to fall in love?
I don't think you do. But they do have me, I think, in a room with other people which is going to be interesting.
That is going to be interesting.
So
is this a show that's already existed, or is it a brand new TV show?
I think one season has been filmed already.
Okay.
Oh, it's the title of it is so spicy. It's so good. And I think that's what really would like pique people's interest. But yeah, under the NDA, I guess I can't
don't share it.
talk about it yet. Exciting things to come.
That's super exciting. Are you nervous?
A little bit. I think art is such an interesting thing because like you're making music, like when you feel like it, when inspiration hits, but this is like a gamified version of that. It's like, write a song right now. I'm just like,
wow.
Oh, no.
And are you confident doing that?
I think so. Yeah. I think it'll actually be a good thing. Like I think it'll actually push my creative practice forward because it's like we're so distracted in our day-to-day lives, and I'm just going to be out there focusing on that and competing with something that I guess I do well. So
on the topic of music, there's something else that's trending in the music world that you were telling me about before this.
Yeah, 100%.
Can you tell me about what is trending in the music world right now?
Yeah, so I was talking to my friend. He's Muslim, like all different types of friends, different people, and they're like, they can't get enough of Christian rap and R&B.
What?
For some reason.
Where is this? Where are people getting this?
Like I thought contemporary Christian music, like CCM, was like a dying animal.
Yeah.
But
because they use the same 4 chords.
Here it is. Yeah, exactly.
It's just the same instruments.
It's
the same
like
bridge.
Right? But it's like a TikTok explosion.
So it's getting big on TikTok.
Yeah.
I've actually seen this. I've seen 100%. Not even just like Christian rap, but like gospel, but like brought, I don't know the word. It's like kind of like gospel music, but then they added a beat underneath and like made it even more. And it was a Christian song that was trending.
Like, it sounds like Justin Bieber.
Telling me this isn't Justin Bieber?
It's not. No, his name is Sam Rivera. It sounds like something else you would hear.
I love it.
Stuff like that, and people are just eating it up. So I find that to be a fascinating trend right now.
That is really interesting.
Yeah, I think people tuned it out when it started to get very commercial. Yeah. And now there's this wave of like really young people that are like making quote unquote real music.
Yeah.
With the topic being God.
And I had a friend who was making Christian music for a while, and he said it was also a really untapped market.
Oh, yeah.
And so getting into music, that was like a big breakout spot for him because he's like, even if I don't want to be a Christian artist forever, there's not a lot of really popular Christian music that's in like modern styles. He's like, that's my chance to like get heard, get my name out there, and then transition into the artist I want to be. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, talking about other trending topics.
Yes.
You have a friend named Nicole.
I do. Oh my goodness. She's gonna kill me for sharing this stuff on the radio. So hopefully she doesn't, like, this is the only time I'll say hopefully she doesn't listen to your podcast.
Okay.
Do you guys want to know? And she seems to be right every time. So she gave me what's in, what's out for 2023.
Okay.
Do we want that, or do we want what's in, what's out for 2024?
Oh, what do you think? Have you seen both lists? I kind of want to know what she's predicting for 2024, but I also want to know, how did she predict 2023?
She just knows. She's like a shaman. It comes to her.
Like she's like a medium type.
I actually don't know.
Okay.
That was a bit aggressive. It's probably not even that deep, but here's what's in.
Let's hear it. For 2023 or 2024?
It's 2024.
Okay.
Just because it's fresh.
Yeah, you go.
She just texted me this. Wires. So like headphones with the wires.
No, that's been in.
Oh, it's been in.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the last year or so.
Okay. It's already been in.
Okay.
69. It's in.
Like the position?
The sex position.
Really?
It's in.
I didn't realize it was ever out.
Yeah. Well, if it ever was, it's back.
Okay.
Psychedelics.
So
like LSD.
Okay.
I'm not a big drug guy, but
no, me neither.
Here it is. It's
interesting.
Back.
Okay.
Drinking. Chappy.
Drinking is in.
Drinking's in.
Chappy Hour.
It's back.
Here we go.
Posting in feed. Only max 3 to 5 on a swipe.
Only 3 to 5.
It's back.
Oh, that's interesting because
also back. Not posting.
Wait. So wait, I feel like those two contradict themselves a little bit.
They do. They really do.
But I feel like
I don't make the rules.
I don't know.
Boyfriends are in.
Boyfriends are in.
Boyfriends are in.
Okay.
Citrus food scent color. Citrus.
Citrus.
The food, the citrus foods, citrus scent, and the citrus colors, which is going to probably be green and yellow. They're in.
Okay.
Photography is in 2024.
Good.
Seafood towers. Word of mouth.
Wait, what the heck is a seafood tower?
I think it's like a tower of shrimp or like lobster or something. Word of mouth. It's in terms of a marketing tactic. Take notes, people. Secrets are in. PB&J in. Silence in.
Wait, pause. How do you decide that PB&J is in?
It's
because
back.
to me, that's something that's evergreen.
2024. It's back even stronger than ever.
Okay.
Yeah. Silence, being happy. Erectile dysfunction, in brackets, it's not their fault.
Oh.
Women's watches. Trucks are in. Horny is in. Everyone should be, is what it says in brackets.
Everyone should be horny.
And then, and the last one that's in for 2024, trying.
Okay.
What's out? Marketing is out. Rock bottom is out. People pleasing, out. Chicken, out.
Chicken is out.
Chicken's out.
Who decided that? Nicole did.
Yeah.
Okay.
Depression is out.
Good.
Bows. Burned too bright. Like bowing? I gotta ask
Bows?
her.
Bows?
Bows.
Bows. Because bows were huge in
Oh.
fashion. Like bows on everything. Bows on sweaters, earrings.
Right. They burned too bright.
Yeah, it was just too in.
So now they're out.
Okay.
Insta stories roundup being curated on Instagram. It's out.
Oh.
Stories out. Weddings, no one cares or wants to go. Weddings are out.
Oh.
Floral out. Western core.
Western Core's out. Western Core was in huge last year.
Now it's out.
Wow.
Gen Z versus millennials.
Okay.
That whole feud is out.
Good.
Vaping is out. Was phasing out last year, but it's still out.
Okay.
America core out.
Okay.
Being wasted is out, thankfully. American cuisine out. And white boys. Oh no. White boys are out.
Oh no.
We're done.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that's the roundup.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
How do you
just so
feel about
know.
it? What stood out to you?
I feel like the last one, I'm out.
You're out. You're not in style anymore.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
I mean, I already, my fashion, my style, I would love to have someone who understands fashion and style, like explain mine to myself. Like, cause I feel like I kind of get it, but I kind of have no idea at the same time.
If I had to describe your style, which
Yeah.
I'm not the person to describe your style because I don't know proper style terms.
Maybe you're that person.
You're like comfy,
Mm-hmm.
casual, but put together. Like it's a polished look. It's like when the sweatsuit is matching and it gives you
Right.
like polished vibes, but also like I'm very comfortable vibes.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, that's how you dress to me.
Do you think that I seem like I'm intentional about what I wear and stuff?
Definitely. Yeah. Every time I see your fit, I like it. You are very clearly intentional about your outfits. Like it's not just slapped together. And I can see that 100%.
So I'm just like intrinsically just doing this. I don't even realize it.
Yeah, you're doing it.
That's
I feel like
amazing.
most of the outfits you wear, I would wear.
Oh my word.
Yeah.
Most of the outfits you'd wear, I would wear. Did we just become best friends?
I know, basically. But anyways, I think that those are super interesting. I feel like I understand some of the things she said, and some of them I'm like a little bit mystified by. I'd love a further explanation on why she thought that.
We got to get Nicole on the show.
Nicole, what's her last name or handle or something so we can link her?
It's a really funny kind of like quirky one. That's
Okay.
another like in thing, quirky Instagram handles. Anyways, what are we talking about next?
Should I go back to Snappy Chappy?
Oh, Nikki 9 Lives. That's her Insta.
Okay.
Yeah. So everyone check it out. She also has a fascination with pylons. She thinks that they like hold society together, which I think is,
Pylons.
you see a
Like-
stray pylon just on the
Have
street.
you ever stolen one of those?
Yeah, you can steal them, but it's like the power that pylons hold. I don't know if we really.
No, it's way more than that. Actually, I'm about to go into a spiral.
Okay.
Red lights.
Okay.
The fact that there's just a light and we all have like taken it as law. Like
Right.
it is law. But the fact that we have just decided we're going to listen to this light on the street
Okay.
and we're going to like
Right.
hope that it keeps us safe. And like
Yes.
obviously they don't always, but just the fact that we are so I don't even know how
if
to
you guys can't see this right now, she is clenching her fists
Do you know what I mean?
at these red lights.
Do you know what I mean though?
I mean, I'm thankful for them though. Like if I go, I'm gonna get lit up. You know what I mean? And from the side, like pow.
Yes. Okay. So during peak traffic hour, I think red lights are great.
Oh.
But I would like to talk about, have you
I
ever
run.
been
I do
driving in the middle of the night?
I do
No cars around. You'll run a red.
all the time, 100%.
Yeah. I
treat it like a stop sign.
I don't do it because I'm a rule follower. But every time at night or any time in general that I'm at a red light and there's not a single car in sight, it
You
just
go.
makes me irrationally angry. Like,
Just look
why can't I
around, look
just
in
go?
your rearview mirror, make sure there's no other big white cameras.
I hate those. Have
you
you ever
know.
got a ticket from one of them?
Yes.
Was it like $400?
It was bad.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. At least
That
you
was
don't get the
true.
merit points, but
Exactly. But just make sure those aren't around and then just give her.
yeah, I mean, I'm not
All you-
recommending that
all
you
you
break the
ru-
law, but they just make
Do
me
it.
so angry. I think that there's definitely a time and a place for red lights, but sorry, I'm going on a tangent. This could make me spiral, but
Mhm.
pylons, 100%. I'm on the same page. I understand it 100% what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Pylons.
have her on the show. It'd be fun.
You know where else pylons come into play?
Where? When?
Airports.
Okay.
There's this theory right now. It's a trending theory
Okay.
that something like it's like a huge percentage of men think that there was a poll done somewhere. I don't have the exact info, but the majority of men think that they could land an airplane
Oh, yes.
with no prior flying experience. Is this something that you think you could do? Be honest.
No. And where is this coming from? Is it that we're just too overconfident? We think we can do anything?
I don't know. Is it? You're the man.
I mean, that is the thing, right? Like, you're the man. Like, figure it out. Get her done.
I mean, that's not how I meant you're the man, but
You know?
but you don't think you could do it? Because, okay, to build on that theory,
I think I could do it if you gave me like a month with like one of those plane simulator games on the computer, which are like, if I could get dangerous with that
Okay.
computer game, then I think I could do it.
okay,
Yeah.
that makes a little bit more sense to me.
But just
because
to do it like out of thin air, no.
to build on that mindset, there was somebody I saw who was talking, and he said, I would absolutely be an Olympian if my body didn't hold me back. He's like, mentally, I can see myself running past the finish line. He's like, physically,
Wow.
I could see myself, like, I could feel it in my bones running past the finish line. But he's like, my body is just holding my back. My body is the reason I'm not an Olympian. Is there anything that you have where it's like, I would be
That's
a blank
true.
if I...
Well, yeah, that's true. Yeah, your body is holding it, but also his like determination held him back. His, like
I know.
it wasn't just his body that held him back. But if he didn't have any of those, if he actually had a good work ethic and all that, then yeah, he'd be in the Olympics.
Like, is there anything that you think that you would be if you didn't have something holding you back?
Yeah, I mean, some people laugh maybe, but like, felt like I was a pretty good basketball player.
Yeah.
Played college, played in Singapore. I feel like I was pretty good, but I had this like weird like thing in my hip from birth that they had to like fix surgically. And I feel like that just like helped me back. Like, but the head of my femur was too big and they had to make it like smaller to be in my hip better. I feel like if I had that done sooner, just maybe the mechanics of my body would have been able to like really do some damage.
Okay.
I know what these guys, it's like, it's in your mind. You're like, yes, I can do it, but we don't want to be told no.
That's like, I genuinely feel like if I didn't value family and free time,
Right.
I would have been a neuroscientist.
Wow.
I would have loved that. I
Right.
still am fascinated by it, but I'm like,
the brain.
yeah, the brain. I'm so fascinated by the brain, but the thought of having to go to school for that many years and be that
Right.
dedicated and then be locked into a career where you don't have any creative freedom.
Right. Because
That's
you're
not
also very
attractive to me.
creative.
Yeah.
Right?
So I don't know. That's
You
my
would have been that
thing.
neuroscientist being like, oh, I wish I, did photography and like
I wouldn't be
social media
happy if I
stuff
were a
and creative thing.
neuroscientist.
Right.
No, definitely not.
Just
What-
dabble.
Yeah.
Just dabble in neuroscience. It can be your hobby.
It could. Imagine. That's so funny. Okay, what else is trending?
Is it too soon to say baggy pants?
Talk about it.
Well, I just feel like, they're way more comfortable. Growing up, I just wore like 4XL t-shirts and like baggy pants and everything. And all of a sudden everyone's wearing these skinny pants. And I'm just like, well, that's not that comfortable. So I think there was like a year or so that I folded and I was like, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to have like more form-fitting clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And thankfully, I feel like we're back to where it's okay to be comfy again. And
Yeah.
it's like a stylish thing.
I'm loving the comfy vibes. It's
Yeah.
my whole everything.
Mhm.
But moving away from feeling comfortable, we're going to talk about feeling uncomfortable.
Okay.
And that means that we're moving into the On the Rocks section, which is where we're talking about the drama, the gossip, the good stuff, the stuff that everybody really, truly wants.
That's why we're here.
And we have some crazy situations, as we always do. But this first one, I'm going to present you with a situation
Perfect.
that is a real life situation that somebody shared online.
Okay.
And I'm going to get your opinion because you are now a father and this story has to do with a husband. So basically, here's the situation.
Okay.
There is a husband and wife who had a daughter, and their daughter grew up and went to university. The daughter went to university in a city far away. Something is happening in their kid's life. I think it was something positive, probably like a graduation. And they're like, we're going to go fly out to see her. We haven't seen her in so long. It's going to be so nice to go and visit her. So mom and dad go to the airport and they are ready to board their plane. The plane is starting to board and the husband and wife are talking and they're like, oh, I could really use a coffee. I'm kind of hungry. So the husband says to the wife, why don't you just go to that stand that we can see right here? I'm sure they sell coffee. But the wife is like, no, I really, really want Starbucks. She really wanted her Starbucks coffee. So the plane is starting to board, but the wife says, no, don't worry. I'm just going to run to the Starbucks. It's like 2 minutes down the hallway. The husband is like, I think it's a bad idea. I don't think you should do it. But she's like, it'll be fine. Like it can't be that far. So the wife starts running down the hall and she goes to the Starbucks. Right. Meanwhile, the plane is starting to load quite quickly. They're calling the boarding gates. Yeah. Zone 1, zone 2, it's coming to theirs. She's still not here. The husband is starting to panic because they need to board their plane. He calls her 4 separate times on her phone. She's not picking up.
Oh, no.
Right? He's getting really panicked at this point. And he said, I need to board my plane. Like, I'm going to miss the plane. And he's trying to contact his wife and she's not answering. He boards the plane and she texts him and says, hey, sorry that took so long. I'm just waiting for the food. The line was longer than expected. And he said, get your butt over here. The plane is boarded. Like, we need to go. She finally makes it to the gate. The gate is closed. She missed the flight.
But the husband's on the flight.
The husband is on the flight. So the husband boarded without her, flew, visited the daughter, all was well. He reconnected with the wife when they got back. She didn't talk to him for a week because she was so angry that he left without her.
Oh.
In a situation like that, who do you think is at fault?
I think, this happened to me.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
I went to grab, it's funny you're saying that. It's like,
no way.
I went to go grab like a smoothie or whatever.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get the calls or the text or anything like that. And I literally saw the door itself closing as I was walking back. I was like, oh, everything's fine.
Oh, no.
And I was like, yeah, this is my flight. She's like, no, we can't open the door again. Like I was going to like just walk, but she was like, no, like we can't open it now. I was like, are you kidding me? I look at the window, everything's fine. I see people, the gate is fully intact. Everything's fine. I'm like, and she's like, no, we can't do it. It's against our policy.
So then
But
what?
my friend got on the flight without me.
No.
Didn't call or text or anything.
Oh, so that friend didn't do what the husband had done to his wife.
But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, it's kind of my fault, But
so you blame yourself for not being there on time. Did you have any resentment towards your friend for getting on without you?
A little bit. Not getting on without me, just not calling or texting or anything. Just kind of not having or like doing something, being like, oh, my friend's coming, like, just kind of like waiting and just making sure that everything's good. Mm-hmm. It was my bad, for leaving to go grab a smoothie at that time.
So it's interesting that you blame yourself because the wife in this situation blamed the husband because she said, if you are a good husband and you love your wife, no matter what, you should be waiting for her because he was aware that she was going to the Starbucks. She still went and he didn't wait for her. He didn't tell the gate agent, hey, you need to leave it open. My wife is on the way.
Oh, yeah, nothing. Yeah.
Like he tried calling his wife. Yeah. But she gave him the silent treatment for like a week once he got back.
He called, he texted, but then he's like, you go into his mind at that moment where he's like, fuck it. Like he just sits down, and he's just like, yeah, everything's fine. Like my wife is definitely not on this flight, only me. She just has to deal. Like, I think if someone in relationship, I think if someone makes a mistake, like you should have a bit of mercy instead of being like, oh, they need to learn their lesson, not to go grab a coffee. Like that's a bit much.
That's really true. And also I feel like there's another factor at play that the husband, even though he could have missed the flight and gone on a later flight with his wife, which is an option. Like who's to say he couldn't just take a flight an hour later and be with his wife. Yeah. But he also had an obligation to his daughter who was expecting them to show up at a certain time at the airport.
Right. So maybe he expected his wife to just hop on a later flight. But she to spite him, she just didn't even go.
Yeah.
Dang.
And then
what's going on with this marriage?
I don't know. I feel like it can't be good. Oh.
We got to find out if they're still together.
I don't have an update, but we should look into it.
We should.
That was my on the rocks topic for this week.
Okay.
But what is yours?
Mine, it was in the Super Bowl. Travis Kelce, basically, there was like a very important drive they had to score and the coach didn't put him in. So Travis Kelce, usually you talk about him when it comes to like Taylor Swift, but this is a different situation. Goes up to his coach and he like pushes his coach and yells in his ear. And a lot of people kind of on social media started talking about this, and they're like, oh, this is what's wrong with workplace, like patriarchal, like this is his boss technically.
And this was during the game that this happened?
During the game, yelling like right in his ear, it looks like kind of accidentally, but he kind of pushed. Kind of an older man. The coach is an older gentleman.
Yeah.
He kind of like fell over.
Oh no.
Yeah, so it was kind of like a whole thing. But after the game, the coach was like, this is what I like out of my players. He was
defending it.
Yeah, he's like, I like that passion that Travis brings, and I would prefer a player who really adamantly wants to make a difference, and have that passion than someone who's like docile and just sits back. But people on social media were like, no, this is what's wrong with like the whole angry white male or like patriarchal, just like men just being men and thinking in a workplace they can get away with doing whatever. They're like, this is a workplace, this is his boss. Maybe the debate there is like, is a sports team, I mean, yeah, they're employees of that team, they're making money, but is it the same as like, at the water cooler, like at a marketing agency? Like, is it the same kind of workplace, right?
It's not the same workplace to me, but like I feel like it's a thin line, because maybe that coach was okay with it, but to me, I don't think it's acceptable to bring that behavior into other situations. No. Like, you really have to know the person that you're doing that to on a very good level, knowing that it's not going to hurt or upset them in any way. But I feel like there's a lot more to it. Like, if you're doing that in your personal relationships, that's a huge problem. If you're doing that in public to a stranger, is this a video?
This is his brother, yeah.
You cross the line. I think we can both agree on that.
I can't get that fired up to the point where I'm bumping coach and it's getting him off balance and stuff. When he stumbled, I was just like, oh shit. I'm a passionate guy. I love Coach Reed. Coach Reed knows how much I love to play for him, how much I love to be, a product of his coaching career. I'm not playing for anybody else but Big Red. If he calls it quits this year, I'm out there with him, man.
I don't know how I feel about this, to be honest with you, because personally, I'm dating a professional athlete.
You are.
And so it's crazy to me. I could never see Hamish doing that to his coach.
Right.
And he fully respects his coach very much.
Especially if you're a professional athlete. The cameras are on, right?
Yeah, the cameras are on. But it's really interesting because I don't want to speak for Hamish, but feedback that he's gotten at times was show more passion in the sense of get angry, yell, celebrate, all of those, show emotion on the court.
Right.
Because at the same time, it is a performance.
Oh, true.
And it's a performance to be bringing energy to your other teammates. But yeah, I don't know. That's a really interesting topic. What's your take on it?
I kind of love it. Like, I love that they have that relationship. And I think that's sometimes what, like, social media, all these hot topics, all these trending things, all this drama, all this gossip. It's just like we can sit on our podcast and be like, I mean, it's fun, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what I think about it. And like, we do not know those people like at all.
Yeah. And at times it's taken out of context.
Totally.
Like we could be like, oh, he's yelling at him. But like that might just be the relationship that they have. It's all love.
Yeah, exactly. So like within the context of like a relationship, I love that they told that side of the story as well. And that coach stood up for his player to be like, this is the relationship we have. Yes, he can be a bit crazy, but that's also what I love about him. That's also why he's leading all the tight ends in the NFL in touchdowns, and that he's a bit of a freak, and that's why he scores so much, and that's why I'm so rich, and like blah blah blah.
True, I guess.
You know what I mean? So I think when you're the best at what you do, hot take, but I think you get a little bit of room to just be yourself.
Interesting. That's a really interesting
is
one.
It showing a good example for kids? Like a kid isn't going to be as good as Travis Kelce, but in a kid's mind, they think they're that good, and they're like, I'm gonna yell at my coach too.
Yeah, and that's where it's a fine line. Like, you don't want to be setting a bad example to anybody watching you.
That's true.
Or teaching them that that's okay to be doing to anybody. It's such a unique situation that Travis Kelce is in.
Totally. But here we are, Super Bowl champions. I'm a Chiefs fan.
Okay, I have another last topic.
Stir it up.
On the rocks. Okay. Did you ever have an easy bake oven?
I had creepy crawlies.
Creepy crawlies.
I think that's what they're like, creepy crawlers.
Is it creepy crawlers?
You bake these plastic bugs and they come out the oven, and you got a toy now, little floppy rubber toy.
Can you eat them?
No, they just... So I never got the Easy Bake Oven, but I got the creepy crawlers.
Oh, okay. Do you know what an Easy Bake Oven is?
I do.
Yeah, so for anybody who doesn't know, and if you don't know, I'm very surprised, but it was one of my favorite toys as a kid.
Of course, yeah.
It is this little like microwave-sized oven.
Yes.
And I say oven with air quotes because it's not an oven at all. It's just got a light bulb inside. And you're supposed to cook these like pre-packaged little powder mix cakes or whatever the heck.
Wow. Were they any good?
No, they're fine. But
Right.
I remember my mom got me an Easy Bake Oven, and then she's like, I'm going to teach you actually how to bake because this is stupid.
Right.
And so then she actually taught me how to bake, and I started to learn actual baking. She's like, if you want to learn to bake, I'll actually teach you how to bake. You don't need an Easy Bake Oven. Anyways, there was a family that recently bought an Easy Bake Oven for their daughter.
Yeah.
And they were really excited about it.
They still make these.
They still make these, apparently. Isn't that crazy? But they had bought this for their daughter, and they were baking, and the father and the daughter were in a different room while their little muffin tin was cooking.
Right.
And suddenly the daughter started complaining that she was having chest pains.
Oh, no.
Yeah. She's like, my chest hurts, which is a really odd thing for like a young girl to be saying. I think she was like 5. I don't really remember her exact age. But then she started complaining that she was having trouble breathing, that's very concerning. And they hadn't eaten anything in the oven. Like, it's still cooking the item.
Okay.
Then the father started noticing, I'm having chest pains too.
This is a horror movie.
I know. So basically the family is
all
like,
died.
this is a serious emergency. They went to ER.
Okay.
And they all got scans done on their chests and lungs and blood work drawn and everything. And some of them came back normal, but when they looked at the chest scans, it looked like they were fighting pneumonia or something like that. And they believe that it was due to the Easy Bake Oven, and it was a brand new Easy Bake Oven, I believe, that was emitting something that made them ill. And so they are now doing studies on this new iteration of the Easy Bake Oven to make sure that it is safe for people to be using, because 3 people ended up in the hospital with serious complications.
Oh, God.
Could have died because of what happened. And so basically while they were in the hospital, the fire department had to go to their house and run air quality samples. And it was this really big deal. But
that is a fiasco.
Isn't that a fiasco? Is that not a nightmare?
That's one toy I'm not going to be buying Malaya.
I was going to ask, were you planning on buying an Easy Bake Oven at all?
I thought about it.
You did?
Not anymore.
Yeah. So I don't know, like, this is just their experience, and I don't know the truth to it because it's something that was shared online and we don't want to get sued. So
it's tough though, because there's nothing more fun for a kid than like their toy makes something that they can eat.
That
like,
is
I know
really
as a kid, that blows your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I hope they fix this issue.
I hope they do too, but in the meantime, you could do what my mom did for me, and you could just teach her how to cook.
Not
in
as
a
fun.
Safe
Not as fun.
way. Not as fun.
Not as fun.
I mean, the big
There's
oven,
something
it's not as cool as a pink little cute one with a child-sized pan.
That's your mom's oven, but for a kid, it's like, no, this is mine.
That's really true. That's true. But we're going to move into the shaken, not stirred section of the podcast. And we're going to stay on the topic of what's cooking. And there was a guy who had something cooking in his hair.
Oh my goodness.
There was a man who tried to get through airport security wearing a toupee, which is a fake hair cap thing, with half a kilo of cocaine.
No, he didn't.
Under his cap.
Wow. Who hired him?
I want to know.
Where is he coming from?
And did he seriously look at himself in the mirror? You have to see a photo of him. Did he seriously look at himself in the mirror and be like, this is going to work?
Is the toupee cocaine guy? Is that what
Can
it
I
is?
show you a photo of it?
Yes, please.
Okay, let me find you a photo. Did I show you the photo?
I don't know if you did yet.
Oh my gosh, I just have to show you.
Cocaine
It's so funny.
Toupee guy. Is this him?
Yeah, that's him.
It's like, how is that believable?
I know.
It's like...
It's literally like a loaf of bread on his head.
It's back. Yeah.
It looks like he has a small animal living on top of his head.
27,000 pounds is a UK. So that's going to be what, like
$44,000.
$44,000.
He had $44,000 worth of cocaine under his toupee.
That's a lot.
And apparently he was acting quite erratically and suspicious, and that's part of why they decided
Yeah,
to
they
search
would have
him.
just totally let him go, but he's just like, I got coke on my head.
Oh man,
They're
have you
like,
ever
oh.
like thought if you had to sneak something through the airport, how you would do it?
Thought about that. Yeah, it's like I think about that often. No, okay. How would I feel like everything's been tried? You know what I mean? Like you watch Narcos and all that, and like they're right up there.
I feel like that's overdone. You got to change it up.
Yeah, that's 2023.
Did you ever watch Border Patrol?
Oh yeah. How are the kids smuggling drugs these days?
I need to know. Whatever they're doing probably works.
There's just no way to do it.
No, the technology is too good these days.
You know, like, yeah, like if you just put it in your carry-on, is there a chance you just get through free? Like no issue?
I always wonder this, and I feel like the answer has to be yes.
Yeah, you can just throw it, like, is the scanner going to detect it? But like if you got, you know, a bag of powdered sugar in there, like, you know what I mean? I would be
That's
down to
another story.
risk
Somebody
that.
recently was arrested because they were traveling with some sort of washing detergent.
Okay.
It was like a very no. It was you know that powder that absorbs liquid?
Yeah.
I think it was called like Drydex or something like that.
Okay.
They were traveling with a big bag of that, and they got detained because they thought it was drugs. The border security thought it was drugs, but it was really just a moisture absorbent powder. It wasn't drugs at all. And then they ran a test on it to see if it was drugs, and it showed a false positive. And they ended up basically in prison because of it, or jail, or whatever the proper. They got detained, and it was a big deal. And now they're running all these at-home tests to figure out why did it show a false positive when it was just like a cleaning agent or whatever the heck it was.
That's crazy. I smuggled one, well, not smuggled. I came back. I was living in Kenya for a while, and like I was with this tribe working. I had this spear, like a 6 foot tall spear that I just brought back with me in my carry-on.
You did?
I just rolled it through, or no, I checked it in my checked bag. You know, there's that last person who kind of like will check your checked bag right before you leave to like leave the airport.
Oh yeah, like sometimes they'll open it up.
But it's
and
like a random test. Like they'll take one of every 3 people.
Yeah.
I just walked by, and I wasn't just, I had a machete, I had a spear, I had a bunch of weapons. Why were you taking those home? They were so cool. All these like tribal weapons. I was like, I need all of these. And so I just rolled the dice, and I got them all.
Wow.
In my home. So no one run up on me in my home. You'll end up impaled by a Kenyan spear.
That's insane. How many people can say that they have a Kenyan spear in their home?
DM me if that's you, and we should grab coffee because we're probably similar.
What is your shaken not stirred topic of the week?
Shaken not stirred.
Something that shook you up
shook
this
me in a
week.
good way. It was so nice. So I'm moving. There's a super heavy thing I couldn't lift into my car, and this guy walking by, he looked like he was experiencing homelessness, and I was like, hey, can I like pay you to like help me lift this into my truck? And he didn't say anything. He just comes over, starts helping me, even like walks into my home, and like we pulled this heavy thing out, put it in my car. And I'm like, afterwards, and I'm like, oh, thank you so much. I go to pay him some cash, and he's just like, no. I'm like, no, for like, I insisted. And no. Twice, he just wouldn't let me give him any money, and he just walked away.
Really?
And I'm just like, wow.
Aw.
I'm just like, wow. It
How sweet of him to-
shook my paradigms, you know, like you see someone, you're like, oh, this person must be, I don't know, all our assumptions we have of people, right? But at the end of the day, we're just people, you know, we're just meant to like help each other out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's
it was
beautiful.
Nice. It shook me.
That's so sweet. But we're going to move into the bottoms up section. And this is the last section of our podcast. And it's where we talk about what we're obsessed with right now.
Okay.
If there's something that you can't get enough of, that you're consuming and you're loving and you want more of, what would yours be?
What would mine be? Do you want to go first?
I can go first.
Yeah, go first.
Thrifting.
Tell me about it.
Thrifting is like winning the lottery to me.
Okay.
I'm so obsessed with thrifting. Actually, I was thinking about this the other
day. What you're wearing right now looks maybe thrifted. It looks awesome.
Thank you. Actually, it's not.
Really?
This is probably the first outfit I've worn this month that I didn't thrift.
It's not thrifted.
But it's
retro.
Almost entirely gifted.
Okay, perfect.
Not that's thrifted, probably why I didn't buy the things. But thrifting for me, I go thrifting probably at least once a week. I don't need to go that much. And I don't always buy things when I go thrifting.
Okay.
But I love it because you can find such cool stuff in any category.
Wow.
Thrifting for clothes. Thrifting for home decor.
Okay.
Thrifting for kitchen items.
Cool.
It's so fun. And once you set goals, have you ever set thrifting goals?
No.
Okay, you know how people make mood boards that are like, this is my year board, like my vision board, my 2024 goals.
Yeah.
People should do that for thrifting.
Okay.
If you're like, I want a specific skirt like this, or a jacket like this, or I want this home decor item. If you start setting goals,
got you.
When you find that item at the thrift store,
you're elated.
You're beyond elated.
Oh,
it's addicting. Oh. It's so good. And actually, I was thinking about it the other day.
You might hide a thrifted shirt in your toupee.
Maybe.
Cocaine's an addiction.
Well, you know what? They're saying that younger people right now are thrifting more than ever, and they think it has to do because also gambling rates are apparently lower. And it's
like,
because,
you know what other rates are lower amongst young people?
What?
Having sex.
Really?
Young people are having less sex.
Really? Why? What?
They say it's the slow, basically you're not growing up as fast as you used to, you know, and for that reason, anyways, I digress. Go on.
No, that's really interesting.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I don't go to the casino and spend my money.
No, don't do that.
But when I go to the thrift store,
you spend your money.
I'll spend my money. You know how exciting it is to find that item that you've had your eyes on forever and it's there?
You're like Frodo with the ring. Your eyes just light up.
I love it. That's mine. What's yours?
Just, I mean, I don't know if this fell into this category, but like furniture, interior design. I feel like there's so many chuggy, like, you know, people in the suburbs of Calgary that live, love, laugh on their wall, you know, above their toilet, and fake plants and all this disgusting things. And everything's like these white walls, all this. I love this more like maximal sort of color coming back into furniture and interior design. And I don't know if you know, like Giacomo, like he's a designer. There's these little,
with the little handbags,
the little purses, you know, like these little weird things that are coming back. And I was like, wow, I kind of want to jump on that wave.
Yeah.
When it comes to like designing my new space. And
so have you been
like
thrifting your furniture?
Yeah, I do have like a little bit of a caravan of things that I've got this cool. I don't like trends to be trendy. I guess I'm just fascinated by them. Okay. Like I'm fascinated with what's going on. Like Kanye West kind of intrigues me, and I just want to know like where culture is moving. Yeah. But not in like a look at me vain way, but just So I've got a couple things that I've got with me from before, but I'm really curious to like expand and get some weird, colorful furniture and just get a little bit, you know, Alice in Wonderland with it.
Well, make a mood board.
Okay.
And hit the thrift store.
Set some goals.
And you know, if you start hitting, this is my opinion, if you go to a thrift store that is like not a curated thrift store, if you go to one that's like maybe like a Value Village or a Salvation Army versus going to like a, what's that called? When they like people bring in the item. Do you remember?
Oh, consignment?
Yeah. Versus a consignment shop. Okay. If you go to a thrift store where they're not picking through every item and choosing what's on the floor, they're just kind of putting everything out there. Right. If you find something good, it's like way better than if you go to a consignment store and there's just something good. Wow. I feel like you're like my dealer. You're like setting up my next hit. I'm going to tell you all of the stores you need to hit in what order at what time of the day. I'm going to become a fiend. If I ever feel sad, I go thrifting and then I feel better. So does my mom, but she's a hoarder. I love you, Mom. You think you love thrifting. Linda she'll run laps around you at the thrift store. I don't know if that's. Yeah. I mean, my dad's the same way, but he's gotten me some of the coolest items in my home. Okay. Yeah. That's it. I would like to say that my mom she's always offering me things for me, things for my daughter, but I will say every once in a while there's going to be something, but 9 times out of 10, garbage. But we are nearing the end of this episode, and I first of all want to thank every single person who has listened so far and listened to this episode with Jared here today. Jared, thank you for coming on my show. Of course. Yeah, this is amazing. You guys just listened to us talk for the last hour. I know, isn't that crazy? We just hung out. You guys just joined us for Chappy Hour. It felt so natural. And that's how it's supposed to be. Right? It's not like an interview where I'm like roasting you. It's like a Marion, how it's supposed to be. But everybody who's listening right now, my goal for you is to go and listen to at least one of Jared's songs. Because my word. Jared is a very talented artist, and like he said at the beginning of this episode, that is one of the best things you can do. So go check him out, give him a listen. If you enjoy him, maybe add him to your playlist or share it with some of your friends. And I just want to say thank you for hopping on today. Thank you, Chloe. I had a lot of fun. And to everybody else who's listening, if you enjoyed this episode, make sure to give it a 5-star review. We hit 30 reviews. Let's go. Thank you to every person who has taken the time to leave a review. I read every single one and they all mean so much to me. And thank you to everybody who's also followed the show, because we've hit 100 followers, and I'm pumped about that because I talked about it on the last episode, but I'm just so pumped about that. That's incredible. It's building. I know. And it's building fast. It's catching fire. You know what I did? What? I ordered stickers. Of course. Chappy Hour stickers. They're coming in on next Wednesday, when this episode will be released. So which episode is this? This is episode number 8. So I'm in the top 10, the first 10. And you know what? That's incredible. They say 80% of podcasters don't make it past 8 episodes. What?
This is number 8.
And this is number 8.
You're definitely making it past this
So
one.
I'm going to make it past 8. I'm taking it seriously.
Wow. You know what? Little round of applause for Chloe here.
Thank you.
Amazing.
But we're going to sign off. So grab your drink.
Oh,
Good catch.
almost dropped it.
All good. And cheers.